I have a theory as to why so many women are single nowadays and struggle with men. It's because we don't have father figures and we don't have arranged marriages. Typically, what I've realized is that when women are put in a position where they're picking the men, they make terrible decisions. Because since women are emotionally erratic and dictated by their emotions, they're going to go with the guy that can stimulate their emotions the best. Well, what stimulates female emotions? Well, we know this from psychology. It's men that are neurotic, men that have Machiavellian traits, and that are toxic, men that have narcissistic tendencies, sociopaths, etc. The bottom line is the guy doesn't give a about the girl.
Yeah.
Women are attracted to men that don't give about them. However, the problem is that though this guy arouses you, he's not a good long-term partner. The nerd who pedestalizes you and makes you feel like a princess even though you don't deserve to be a princess because you haven't done anything to earn that for that guy. You don't respect that guy because he's pedestalizing you for nothing more than the fact you have a vagina. So it amazes me how what women are aroused by and what they're attracted to does not necessarily always align with what's in their best interest.
Women are known to make terrible decisions when it comes to men. They want the Chads and Tyrones, but don't realize those guys want nothing from you except what all women offer. These women reject the geeks who like them beyond the ordinary and would do anything to be with them because they're not as exciting as Chads. What they don't realize is that in the long term, Chads will be driving dumpster trucks and living in their mom's basements, while the geeks will be billionaires running tech companies or managing big decisions in large corporations. Who won in this case? Not the women.
So in a few seconds, you realize why a lot of women are single.
So when you look at yourself, what would you say you need to improve when you're dealing with the opposite gender?
Nothing. Shit, I don't think there's any flaws. I don't really have any flaws.
What I need to improve?
Yes.
Probably his timing.
Your timing or his timing?
His timing.
No, it's about you though.
Oh,
you
what do I need to
yeah, what do you need to improve?
I don't know.
You see how she jumped straight to you?
Women have warped expectations of men. Guys, I keep saying this in my videos because it's 100% true. Scroll on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever social media platform appeals to you, and you will come across tons of content where women are listing down the things they want in the ideal man. And the list is endless. They want the six-pack abs, the six-figure income, and the 6 feet height. And that's just the baseline. They want everything that you can imagine as a good quality in a man. And it's not just with men. They have unrealistic expectations from the world as well. They have unrealistic expectations from society, and they have unrealistic expectations from institutions. They want control over men. Modern women won't even acknowledge or respond when you start criticizing them for their stereotypical behavior and actions when you're with them. You can refer to their decision to withhold information as a choice, plausible denial, a lack of agency, or any combination of the three. But in my opinion, it goes well beyond any of that. Because they are so good at bluffing their way through life, I believe that women are particularly skilled at the game of human poker, and hence, at controlling how they want their men to be, act, and behave. I've come across plenty of women who claim to be the most knowledgeable intellectuals in the world. They would discuss all the wonderful places they had visited. They always attempted to depict themselves as having a fantastic lifestyle by applying their makeup in the most fashionable ways. Even though they had little interest in sports, they would talk about dining at upscale places and attending sporting events. Women nowadays tend to want the rest of the world to perceive their life as distinctive, fascinating, and unlike anybody else's. But in all of this, I feel that they tend to rope you in on their twists and turns, to eventually try and control every single aspect of your life. When they say they had a past where the people they loved left them, and then they cling on to you and make you promise you'll never leave them, they're also trying to control you so that whenever you are out and about, you barely ever have any alone time. And any alone time that you want is going to seem like a burden on your relationship. Women plan a couple's whole lives out, including how they will live, where they will live, the parties they will attend, and the relatives they will visit on the weekends. Most women are unsure of how to react when a man offers his opinion because they haven't truly read the articles in Cosmopolitan that explain how guys are also human beings with individual goals in life. It must be shocking to some women when they finally realize that men can think about relationships with more than just their thing, if you know what I mean. Once many men reach the age of 30 or 35, they start to awaken from their tea-fueled hibernation, and they start wanting more than just good physical intimacy and possibly children in a relationship. When this occurs, the entire picture that woman would have created from the very beginning of the relationship about how she would manage various facets of the guy's life begins to fall apart. which typically makes women feel insecure and powerless. Modern women remain alone and further away from the fulfillment of a family during all this confusion. From having a sense of entitlement to blindly following an extremist version of feminism that wants to build an anti-male agenda. And from now, let me share a couple of main reasons why this is so. They're going through an identity crisis. I say this with absolute clarity. Modern women are so confused about their own place in the world that it's almost as if they're going through an identity crisis. On one hand, they have the woke feminist ideology telling them that they don't need no man, and on the other side, they can see so many examples of women truly being happy by being nurturers and caregivers to their partners, husbands, children, and families, by completely adhering to the natural way of life that is biologically and universally given to the gender of women. They want everything in a man, but they don't accept what men want in them. They want a career and want to become the CEO, but after they hit the wall, they wonder why men aren't giving them the attention they used to give them when they were at their fertile peak in their early 20s. They make horrible decisions in their peak and chase stereotypical bad boys who give them the thrills and ignore the boring guys who plan to build their wealth and business. And after they're done, divorced, and left over, they complain why the same guys they used to reject aren't running after them anymore. Popular culture doesn't help at all in this. We have movies and TV shows that totally perpetuate the woke ideology that leads to this confusion in modern women, and we even have that in academia and corporate multinational organizations. Giant corporate organizations now have quotas that they have to mandatorily fill with female board of directors and heads of departments. I personally know a couple of cases where they had to fill these roles with women just because it was a policy and they couldn't find one capable enough to handle the job, but still ended up giving it to women way junior just because it was a policy. Corporations are actually at a disadvantage with such woke policies, but to escape the bad media coverage, they have to do this and then suffer the consequences. They want equality, but one that works for them. What's theirs is theirs, and what's ours is also theirs. Men have had enough of this, especially today. Why today? Because the woke feminist ideology perpetuates equality as if everything really should be equal. But if you look at it closely, it's only selectively equal. Women want more positions in corporate boardrooms, but won't ever become plumbers or truck drivers. They want equal pay, but they won't agree to work the same amount as men. They want the benefits, but they don't want to have the same input as men who enjoy those benefits. That's the sort of equality modern women are looking for. And it really doesn't help when you realize the crazy level of expectations they have of men. They're busy chasing corporate ladders. Have you ever seen one of those videos where you see a news anchor completely lose it against someone like Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro, and how these men eventually have to lay out the reality for these women to understand? It's just unbelievable when a woman shows up on television and says that all industries are dominated by men because they oppress women, and this is why most men are CEOs. In reality, most men are CEOs because they're ready to sacrifice a greater part of their lives to compete in a dog-eat-dog world, working 16 to 18 hours on a daily basis for more than 30 years. And they do this without complaining about why a fellow woman is earning more, or why she was promoted instead of him. They don't complain why. What these women don't realize is that these men go on to provide for their entire families for the rest of their lives. Their partners and wives live lives of luxury without having to work a single day and get to buy their expensive designer wear and travel the world as they please. If the roles were reversed, can you imagine a woman providing for her entire family, including her man? No, women don't do that. And let me tell you why this will be a major reason they will remain single. As long as they keep fighting the corporate battles, they'll keep spending more time away from their families and their partners, who will eventually leave them, because guys don't want women as providers, they want them as their partners, who can give them comfort and raise their children. That's a reality that woke feminism has always ignored, and will continue to do so. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us, and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.